Baruch Hashem, we are going to finish lesson 2 today of the Kitzur Likutei Moharan, the abbreviated version of Rabbi Nachman's masterwork, Likutei Moharan. Already early on in the Likutei Moharan, we've learned some amazing life-changing messages from Rabbi Nachman, and we have another one today. Rabbi Nachman says to us in section 7 of Likutei Moharan, he says, it is very, very, very important, vitally important even, that we do everything that we do without the expectation of receiving a reward. Because all of our good deeds and all of our good actions actually come directly from Hashem. When we recognize that Hashem is in total control of our life, of our situations, of our world, it becomes a very freeing thing. So you don't have to worry about the things that normally we would all worry about. Where do I get my money? Where do I get my food? How come I haven't found the perfect mate yet? How do I get a good job? All of these, day-to-day life events that everybody, every one of us suffers and struggles with. If we realize that every single thing comes from Hashem, and every single thing Hashem does is good because Hashem is good, then it's up to us to realize that inspiration. And it's very difficult sometimes to look at the world and say, I don't understand how this particular situation that I'm going through, how could this be good? I don't understand it. And the truth is, sometimes we can't understand it. Sometimes it's beyond our ability to understand. So Rabbi Nachman reinforces the point. Everything comes from Hashem. That's the first issue. The second issue, no rewards. That's not the reason why we do good deeds. Don't give charity with the expectation of receiving something in return. Give charity because your heart is moved to help a fellow person. Don't pray because you figure that if you pray, you're going to get that thing that you want, or you're going to have that life-changing event that you want. Pray because you want to have a simple one-on-one connection with Hashem, with your Creator. Do all of the mitzvos of the Torah that we are required to do, all 613. Do them all for their own sake, and not for the sake of receiving the reward. Eat kosher, not because of the potential health benefits, but because Hashem commanded it to us, and therefore elevate your eating into a holy experience so that you can obtain energy to study Torah and go about your daily business. So if we do all of these things and we recognize that all of our blessings, even the opportunities to do mitzvot, come directly from Hashem, then we are really, truly going to be spiritually pure and spiritually strong, because we recognize we're not doing this because we want to get a reward. We're doing this because we love Hashem and we want to follow His commandments. Rabbi Nachman says, even if a person occasionally merits some type of salvation, meaning he or she merits some type of a reward. Let's say you were waiting on a big business proposal to come through, and it finally did, after so many months of work and doubt about whether it would happen. So this is a moment of potential miracle, of potential salvation for you. Maybe you were in a difficult personal situation, and it's resolved itself after many, many months. So even when you have those moments, and we have a tendency to say, look what I've done. Look what I have accomplished here. I am so happy that this worked out the way I wanted it to work out. Rabbi Nachman is telling us it is very, very important to keep it in perspective, to realize that even the salvation, the miracle that we've experienced, all of that is not because of us. It's not because of our doing. It's because of Hashem. Sure, He's using you and me as His tools. Just like I mentioned in my audio lecture the other day that's posted on our site about how God used King Achashverosh during the Purim miracle as a tool to correct the behavior of the Jewish people. Similarly, Hashem is also using us to achieve good at times. And sometimes He's using us to achieve correction. And we have to accept both of those things equally with joy and with love. So even if we get to that point, we shouldn't think that we merited this particular result because we're so great and so wonderful. That's not the reason why we merited it. We merited it because Hashem answered our prayers and gave it to us for His sake, to increase our connection with Him, to show His love in ways which He shows every second of every single day by giving us life. But don't assume that we have such self-importance that because of our amazing abilities that we've achieved X, Y, and Z. No, it's because Hashem is doing all of these things for us. And Rabbi Nachman reminds us by saying, for everything is from Hashem, and were it not for Hashem's great kindness every single second of every single day, each of us would be drowning. And what he means by that is not necessarily literal drowning, but even spiritual drowning. Sometimes life can be so difficult, and the stresses of money, the stresses of interpersonal relationships, whatever it might be going on in your life, and we all have it. I have it. You have it. We're all part of the same, same group here. Is that we get discouraged, as I mentioned in the last video, and here Rabbi Nachman is reminding us that every single thing comes from Hashem, and all we have to do is have the faith to rely on Him, to realize that Hashem is the driver of your car and you're the passenger. Sure, it's important that we do good deeds and we take action. It's important to take action. We can't just let Hashem do all the work for us. We have to prove to Him that we have the worth and the value and the ability to do all of these things. But as Rabbeinu here is telling us, let us always remember that all of the amazing miracles that happen in our life, and believe me, even if we don't see them, even if we don't recognize them, there are miracles happening every day. I woke up this morning, I can breathe, I can see, I can walk, thank God. It's all of those things are miracles. Or I've won a big business deal, or I've gotten a big promotion at work, or whatever it might be. All of these things are from Hashem. They're not because I'm so wonderful or you're so wonderful. And another important thing to remember is it's not to say that we're not great people, we're not wonderful people. Rabbi Nachman tells us not to judge each other and ourselves so harshly, to realize that we are essentially good. Sure, we make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes and everybody falls down. The question, of course, is how do you get back up and dust yourself off after you've been down before? As it says in the book of Proverbs, fall down 7 times and get up 8 times. So when we do that, and when we fall down, and when we get up again, if we can thank Hashem for His direct personal supervision in our life and recognize that all of the amazing things that happen in our life, whether we perceive them to be good or bad, happy or sad, difficult or easy, all of them come from Hashem. And when we realize this and internalize this and practice this, we will eliminate depression, and we will eliminate anxiety, and we will eliminate worry, and we will simply be at peace with the amazing interaction that Hashem chooses to engage in with all of us people who, as we learned in Sefer Bereshis in the book of Genesis, were created last. We were created after Hashem created even the lowliest insect. He saved us for last, to make us realize that, yes, we are created in the image of Hashem, but let's not let our self-importance and our ego get so much that we forget what is the true source of our blessing, and that is Hashem Yisbarach.